Welcome back to the Dem Guys podcast. He's that guy, I'm this guy. But he's what we're doing today.
Today we're talking about a very sensitive topic, and I'm sure you guys know about George Floyd and what happened to him. So first, I'm gonna say RIP to him.
Obviously, RIP.
His family.
Sorry to cut you off already. I
No,
know
it's
we
cool,
just started, but
No, it's cool. It's cool, man.
it's not just him, innit? Obviously, RIP to everybody. Even if
You
we
shut
don't know
up.
your names, we feel your pain.
Exactly. Also, we want to introduce our special guest. She's on the meeting right now, but we want to introduce our special guest Fathia today. She's a good friend of ours, isn't it? And we thought we'd get her today, to voice our opinions on certain different aspects. Like, I know everybody's talking about racism and stuff, but we want to look into, we want to look into different aspects, not just what everyone's speaking about, because it's a bit generic, you know what I mean? So, obviously, we're going to get into it. So, first of all, I want to talk about social media. So,
first of all, we need to do a disclaimer.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, do your
thank
disclaimer.
you. Go. When I say black people, when I say white people, I mean some. I don't mean all. If you feel offended, then maybe you're part of the some, you know what I mean? Don't feel offended if you're not part of the some. Like, I'm sorry, I can't promise you that I'm gonna say some every time I say white people. Shout out on white people, you know who you are.
I'll try and
Oh, you born that.
them, but even if I miss it, at least you have this disclaimer, innit?
Exactly, you know now, innit? I love white people, my black people already know how it is. Like, when I say set, if you're offended by it, you're probably part of the some, you know what I mean? But if you don't feel offended, then don't feel offended in it. Don't make yourself feel offended in it. But enough for that. Thank you for the reminder. But yeah, I want to talk about social media. So how do you guys think people responded on social media? Maybe we'll start off with celebrities. How do you think celebrities did with social media?
Obviously there was that huge thread on Twitter. I don't know if you heard about it because you're not on Twitter, even though I'm trying to get you on Twitter for 6 episodes. But like there was a guy, I can't remember his name, but obviously shout out to him. We need more people like him. He just went off on like maybe 150 tweet thread calling out bare celebrities, stuff with Jack Fowler, PLT, Zendaya talking about came from bare rappers, KSI, all of this people. Not even, and that was interesting because it definitely prompted them to post, which raised the question for me: is like, are they posting because they feel it's right or because they've been pushed into a corner where it's going to be damaging to their career if they don't?
Yeah, I feel like before that post came out, many celebrities were being quiet, and it was mostly like us youth that were like posting loads of things, and they didn't want to ruin their like aesthetics, so like they've got a certain kind of vibe that they post online, and if they post Black Lives Matter, that ruins everything. And every time like people post something on social media about Black lives, they always lose followers. So I feel like they chose some of them chose their followers rather than raising awareness, and I feel like that's why the boy like called the stuff.
It's like, I don't know, I've talked to my sister about it, like with the whole like celebrity thing. I'll first start off with John Boyega. He's Star Wars guy, the black guy from Star Wars and that. He went off on his live, innit?
He went off.
And like he went off, like it was saying like racist white people.
What's that? What's that racist lady called?
Kate.
Yeah, obviously I was talking about John Boyega. He was going off in it. I was telling my sister that like obviously it was good that he did it, but like in the manner he did it, like obviously he's upset by it. But I don't know if that was the best way, because the thing that was issues that the celebrities had issues with, like with posting, with their brands in it. When it comes to controversy, whether it's racism, whether it's a beef they've got going on with another actor, rapper, whoever it is, it can cause jobs to, with them, they get offer a role, they're not on a contract, innit? Like, for example, John Boyega, he may have a contract, well, he has a contract, let's say, he has a contract with Disney for this Star Wars film. Say, for example, we may never know, innit? But like, let's say Star Wars, the next one that's coming out, or the one after that's coming out, maybe he was meant to be picked for it, but now they're going to drop him. Like, that's just an example. Because, businesses in general, they don't
But it
like
makes sense. It
controversy.
makes sense.
They don't
I-
like
Not
controversy.
even that. He swore
Whether
a
it's
lot.
negative or positive,
you swore a
whether it's
lot.
negative.
He swore a lot.
Yeah.
Their main target
No,
audience.
I don't know about the swearing, but I'm just saying just
their main
controversy in general.
Disney's main target audience are children. These
Nah, not Star Wars. Not for Star Wars. Everyone
bro,
watches.
it doesn't matter.
All
Disney
ages
in
Star Wars.
general.
I don't
You
see
cannot
anything
be
wrong
Bro,
with
don't take. I'm giving him as an example. I'm just saying in general, like
Yeah.
celebrities, whether it's Love Island, which is something like not vulgar, but like something that's 18 plus, let's say. But like when it comes to controversy, brands don't like it. Like for example, YouTubers that I've watched, like especially now recently, a lot of them because they're beefing each other, they lose brand deals. And like at the end of the day, bro, it's
Yeah,
their
but
livelihood.
you can't compare racism to beefing somebody else.
No.
No,
That's
but
what I'm
it
saying.
wasn't.
Well,
It wasn't
whether
like
it's racism or not, at the end of the day, it's controversy. Brands do not like controversy. Whether you've got a politically correct point, but it offends some others, brands they
But
don't like that because it brings negative light to them.
there was nothing controversial about what he said. He said F racist white people. What is there to argue about in that?
No. Just what I'm saying. You have to understand. It's not what he said was wrong. It's that not everybody agrees. Some people will be like, "How can you say that about white people?" You know what I mean?
He said specifically, he said racist white people. If you
But
think
even
anything is wrong, you're part of the problem, though.
but it was a controversial statement, yes or no? Whether it's right or which I'm saying in the celebrity's view, you have to
Everybody
understand that. No, not everyone. Because if it was everyone that believed that it's right, then why is there such thing as racism? You know what I mean?
feel that way. Like there's no controversial about like
It is a
racism.
controversial statement, though. It
Let me
is a
tell you why it's
controversial statement, though.
controversial, because the people that were offended by that statement are more than we'd like to admit. Not everyone who's racist would have. I guarantee there are more non-racists that would be offended by that statement. Actual racist.
Yeah, because they may feel that because of the fact that they said white.
Racist. Exactly.
Exactly.
People
But
because they don't understand. And
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You can't just. That's what I'm saying. You can't accept. You can't expect everyone to be the same wavelength as you.
Exactly.
You can't because you think just because you think that doesn't mean that like in life not everybody thinks the same way. That's why we're all different, innit? And there's ever so many of us.
White people, then I understand. But he said specifically racist white people.
But the thing is that not everybody.
It doesn't
like,
matter.
Some people they've heard white, they've blocked out everything else you've said.
Bro, exactly. We're talking about
like,
this last
If racist people
you can't tell people how to feel. They're gonna feel what they want to feel. And from Disney's point of view, from a brand's point of view, these people are just even racist people, or whether they're racist or not, these people to Disney are what? Customers, their income, their money. So why am I losing money because of you when there's somebody else who can?
There's millions of actors. There are millions of good actors in it. You can get the next John Boy. Like I said, I have to say shout out to John Boyega. Like what he did, it was very daring of him. It was daring of him because there weren't that many people like him.
Star Wars, but I appreciate it.
Nah, he was banging in Star Wars. I won't lie, but like what he did was very daring because like of people like him, who else has posted something as powerful as what he posted in it? Like you can clearly see that what I'm saying is correct because if it wasn't wrong, other people would have posted it too, innit? Like other people would have done the same thing. Like some people are just like I think it was that guy from Love Island. I think
Charlie.
Charlie Break. No, Charlie.
Do you know
Break.
from Love Island?
Charlie Break. What did he post? He said,
I don't know about Charlie. I just know about some light skinned guy from
Charlie Break said he's a Caucasian guy. He said taking a stroll outside to remind myself that Twitter isn't real. And
but before he said that because he was getting backlash for his previous tweet, which was something burning down buildings or something won't change anything. He said something like that. Keep in mind, this is a white privileged man. Like he does not understand the struggles. He doesn't understand anything.
To be honest, he's very wrong in saying that because at the end of the day, in this world we live in, riots is what got people. Like for example, I don't know. Somebody said this. So I don't want to copy, but like for example, the suffragettes. Somebody had to die for a woman to get rights, innit? I had to for that woman, whoever it was, innit? What's it called? The LGBTQ people, for them to get their rights, they did their protest for how long? You know what I mean? Like for all the go on.
It's a rebellion because they're doing it because they've got a reason to be doing this. So it's not a riot. A riot is just doing something for no reason.
No, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one.
I have to agree there. It's still
listen.
Let me search
a riot
up a riot so you can.
or a rebellion. It matters not. The point is
No, it's a riot.
Yeah.
It's actually a riot.
It's
It says a riot is a form of civil disorder commonly characterized by a group lashing out because of public disturbance. I mean, in public disturbance against authority. So I guess
they've got a reason though. They've got
but they have a reason.
No one is saying they don't have a reason.
It has a negative connotation, but riot is the right
the
word for it.
suffragettes, they rioted. But
that man, the woman ran in front of the horse, is it something Pankhurst or something?
Like
LGBT fam, them man, they carry the things in it. Shout out to them, man. But like, obviously, they did their thing and they got their rights in it. So like, I don't think if people want to riot in it, this is a good entrance to another subject. But if you want to riot in it, I don't think it's a bad issue until you take it out of proportion. Like when it's got nothing to do with you.
Out of proportion.
Like, for example, I've seen kids post on their stories, like so many of them saying, "We're gonna go to Andia, we're gonna do."
That's just ridiculous. I don't think they're doing that because they're passionate about the movement.
No, they just want to get some new gowns. They know lockdown's gonna end soon, and they're trying to get new gowns for college or the high school.
Wait.
Some people are making
going
this
back to the actual riots in Minnesota. One thing I think we should say is we are obviously we respect everybody and we appreciate the things that you're doing, because although we don't live in those areas, it affects our lives as well. So they're fighting for all of our rights. But one thing I have to say is obviously stay safe, because as we've seen, not all policemen are good men. Not all everybody out there is willing can put aside their feelings of prejudice, their hatred. They'll kill people. They'll take the lives. So make sure you guys stay safe.
They'll take lives, from. They don't. I don't know. Would you say, a quick question? Would you mind saying like it's what like UK has it as bad as America?
No,
because I've heard some people say UK does.
No, we're not perfect. We are not perfect. It's like the thing where UK isn't as racist as other countries. Okay, but we're still racist.
We're still racist. I think if the UK had guns, we would have the same issue as America.
For sure,
All the bad things that already happened without guns. Now imagine they put guns into the equation. It's not that they're not I saw something on Twitter, like, it's not that they don't want to do it, because they're not equipped to do it. So
exactly.
We have to be thankful because
we have to be thankful for where we are. Exactly. Very much.
We can't be thankful for racist. Like, just don't be racist at all. That's what I'm coming at.
No, I hear that for sure. I just think, just going back on the celebrities thing, innit? I think, like, whether if you want to post or not, I don't think they should be forced to. If they don't feel it in their heart to post, the thing is that at the end of the day, innit, if they post and it's not genuine, would you care or would you not care?
No, I don't actually care. I don't actually care if you mean.
So you'd rather just want them to post?
I want them to post. You've got such a big platform, raise awareness. What are you doing?
No, but I guess then that shows their character in it. Like, I'm saying that in the world, like, I just think you can't force anyone to do anything, but obviously it just shows their character in it. It shows how driven they are, how affected they are by it. Like, the lack of them
is moving mad. Everyone acts really heavy, but you're doing brand promotions. You can't even post one thing about Black Lives Matter, and you've got like a following of 1 million. I'm thinking, what's going on? Like, that's ridiculous, in my opinion.
I agree with you. At the same time, going back to what Mihi said, but I want someone to post something that isn't genuine. Listen, if you don't feel that way because you haven't.
You need to cap for the socials, man.
No, wait, listen. I think they should cap for the socials, because let's say you have a following of 10 million, you post something, everybody looks up to you. You post something you don't really believe, but you've just changed someone else's opinion. You just changed, let's say 10 million, you just changed like 100 people to be more accepting of other people. That's
to be honest, I do hear that. I understand that for sure.
I care about the majority.
I don't know. I feel like in this situation, some people, I don't know if you can call it being so. I guess maybe it's selfish because they're putting their own needs above their own. But like, at the end of the day, with these social media people, social media is their livelihood. Like, a lot of them don't show their true self on social media, innit? Like, they keep it away because majority of their life is on social media. So like, their own real opinions. Like, for all we know, some celebrities may be homophobes, but they just don't talk about anything in general because they just don't like. People they don't feel like they.
Yeah, but listen, we're at a part where it's like, as much as what's called keeping silence is aiding the criminals, the murderers. Silence aids them because the more people that are quiet, the more they think they can get away with what they've done. If they don't face repercussions, if they don't have consequences for their actions, then they do what they want. So as much as that, yeah, if you not doing something bad is the same is almost the same as being good. Let's say that cop was racist, yeah, but he kept his racism to himself inside his hateful body and he didn't take that man's life. Did he do a bad thing?
Well, if he didn't kill the man, then he didn't do a bad thing.
He didn't kill the man. So
that's what I'm saying. If he didn't kill the man and he kept his racism, because go on.
And act upon it and he's just racist inside, then I don't care, that's his problem. As long as you're not affected.
I think that's what I'm saying, because in my like, obviously this is what I think. I don't think, like, with the phobias and the isms, I feel like no matter what you do, it can never go away. Like, you can't change. Like, no, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting at. Like, for example, we'll just talk about racism. A person may be a racist, but racism, I don't think racism will ever end, but it will be silenced, or it will be frowned upon. Let's say with the homophobes, during a time where it wasn't a thing, or it wasn't a thing that was openly done, they kept it in because they knew it was frowned upon. Like, it wasn't necessarily bad, and you do whatever you want in your life, and I can't tell you what's right and what's wrong. But they didn't do it because people were going to look down at them. They were going to have some sort of opinion. But now we've gotten to a stage where, like, someone can outwardly come out and say they're gay. It is what it is.
But listen, hatred isn't something that's born within people. Hatred is something that's taught. So therefore, listen, yeah, even so, if nobody is ever racist because it's not something that you feel like you can do you not think at a point it will die out? Because
maybe in the near future, because I think it's residual. Like, it goes through families. Like, do you not think that, like, a lot of things your parents have taught you, like, that's what I'm saying, you still feel the same way as well?
If they don't teach,
maybe I'm saying right now it can be silenced, but in the future, maybe 100, 200 years, I pray it is quicker than that, innit? But I say realistically, in 100, 200 years, because how long ago was slavery abolished? Like,
so, but 100
and this is still
by 2020 that racism wouldn't exist, and I would have thought that as well. But so do you actually think?
But it still exists. That's what I'm saying. I don't think racism will ever end. Like, as in, I still feel there'll be that one person, despite maybe one in 10 billion.
I think it will, but I just don't think
it's going to end. This is the time for it to end. Like, this is 2020. Like,
but I don't think it's end. It can never end, though. Not as in it can, but not like it can't abruptly end. That's what I mean.
It won't.
Like, it'll take a while to get out of people's mindsets. Like, for example, everybody can openly come out as gay, transgender, whatever you want to be.
Can they?
Yes, definitely.
No, they
not
can't.
The way. Yeah, they can.
They should be able to come out as
no, they can't.
Yes, they can. Are you mad? So you're telling me people can't come out the way they want? Is there not every YouTuber every day coming out?
Oh, listen, just because plenty do, are there not black people living lives without being shot? Does that mean every black person lives life? There are still people who get abused, who get physically abused, verbally abused, and emotionally abused for being gay.
No, but I'm saying it's more open now. Like, as in, it's more like there are places where, like, you can't deny that if you roll back 10 years, we are way more accepting now than we were 10 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, what I'm saying is, my point is that with time, it will be more accepting, but deep down, there will be still people that are homophobes.
Yeah, but if you're homophobe inside, but don't be acting.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. People won't want to act upon it. Like, you hear about those few cases here and there that this person has done this to a gay couple or transgender people. You know what I mean? Like, you hear it from time to time, but it won't be to a scale where it's like a tragedy. And that's why I hope racism can get to a point where, like, we feel like everybody's comfortable. You can, like, we all have thoughts in our head in it that we don't take out, that we have about each other that we just don't keep out. That you just gotta keep it in. I guess it's not something we can build up. Like, I don't think racism can ever abruptly go, but with time in it, I feel like we can educate out of our systems.
Yeah.
But for now, it's just gonna keep an eye. Like,
hopefully,
just keep
the
it in it.
tragedies that we're hearing about, we hope our children don't hear, and if they do, we hope their children don't hear. This is not a life that people should be living. So we have to do what. So bringing us more back onto topic, we have to do what we can now to make sure that the world becomes a better place. Even if I'm fighting for change, not necessarily because I want to see it happen tomorrow, but because it has to become better at some point, and it has to start with somebody.
Sure. You would have thought it got better at this time. Like me, sometimes like you won't even realize that racism. Like sometimes in my life, I don't even feel like racism is a thing. Like alhamdulillah, I don't really go for it as much as others. But I'm saying then there'll be one thing that will be like, oh God, this
exactly. But that's
exists.
our privilege. Exactly. That's what like people. Obviously, white privilege is a thing. But like, there's privilege of situation. Like obviously, I've lived in a situation where, or even going back to some of our previous things we've talked about in the past. Dark skins versus light skins. Light skin privilege is a real thing. Obviously, Zendaya speaks on it all the time. Plenty of light skinned people realize their privilege into it, but there are those who don't as well. Like, for example, maybe Doja Cat. Exactly. So in a bit.
Name drop, bro. Not them guys, but we doing.
Nah, listen. When it comes to celebrity,
she knows her privilege.
Doja
Cat knows her privilege. She even said that she's lucky she's a light skinned girl. She said she's lucky that she's a thick light skinned girl. That's what she said.
But does she use it? Does she utilize it for the right things though?
Exactly.
That's a whole issue in itself, isn't it?
But that's what I'm saying. We have privilege to not face racism every day. It's not as in our faces, but that's a form of privilege in itself, and we can't assume that everybody has that.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like I mean, day to day, I don't really see it until maybe I hear on the news, or maybe I even go through it myself, or I see someone go through it, and I'm like, oh shit, this thing still exists. Where's the growth? Like, don't get me wrong, like, we have to thank the forefathers, you know, like the like people that were slaves, because if it wasn't for them, for all those people that fought for us, will we not still be in the situation? Like, we have to say thanks for the growth, innit? Like, at the end of the day, we would have been slaves if someone didn't decide to make a stand for it. If there wasn't like good white people that were like, okay, this thing is wrong, that like, if it wasn't that bond between us, would they not still be our superiors? You know what I mean? Like we have to see the growth. That's what I'm saying. But at the time, innit, I'm saying like we have to think the growth.
Still have acted as if.
What do you?
Don't continue.
I'm just saying, as in like we have to be appreciative for the growth, because at the end of the day, it could have been worse. But now it's
happened. You should have always
obviously no, but you know that's life, innit? Like it's life.
No, but you're too complacent, fam.
I'm not complacent. No, but me, I don't know. I just know that that's how it is. Like in life, not everybody is good. That's why we have criminals. Like if we lived in an ideal world, there'd be no such thing as crime. There'd be no such thing as evil. But we don't. Like I know what type of world we're in. Like no matter what, we have criminals for a reason. We have prison for a reason. We have police for a reason. You know what I mean? Like not everybody lives. I feel like as a person I've come to terms with it. Like I just know, like I know it can be dealt with, but with like right now you just gotta accept.
But we shouldn't.
How the world is. I should not accept. I know how it is, but I shouldn't accept it.
I'm not accepting this.
That mentality.
No. Sorry, not accept. But like I know that's how we are, but I shouldn't have to accept it. Like I know it can be better.
Yeah.
So yeah. That's what I mean. I'm just worried.
What's the next topic
I know we
on the agenda?
Okay, we can go into screenshots. Cause obviously, quick disclaimer: people have on social media, they've been doing a badness. Go on.
I don't know if this is on the agenda, but are we gonna talk about how like some black people are saying in order for white people to stop killing us, we need to stop killing each other?
Yeah, that's in the screenshots.
Nah, just go for it right now. As you brought it up, let's go.
Okay, do go on. You know what?